Today is going to be awesome. In the spirit of mentorship, we've teamed up Barry with an excellent expert who's going to give him a little taste of Brazil. So welcome Rafael, phenomenal Brazilian-born chef and the brains behind London 2 Michelin-star restaurant Terra. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, guys. Thank you.
Now you've got a few things you're going to pop under the cloche for Barry to experience and taste. James and I are here to ask lots of curious questions too.
Maybe we could taste as well.
I hope so.
The standards have been well and truly raised. Well done, chefs.
I feel quite intimidated as a chef.
Yeah, you should.
Your first treat is under the cloche. Barry, see if you can work it out, and then Rafael, fill you in.
Whoa!
Okay.
So I can see some chilies, but then what looks like small cherry tomatoes and...
What are the green ones?
What are these, Rafael? They are all
Chilies.
They're all chilies.
So they're all chilies. They all have different level of spices or a heat, let's say. This one here is the one you want to start with.
That looks the angriest.
Really? No, that's actually the sweetness. This chili actually is known for having no sort of heat at all. This chili is known as a biquinho because they do have the shape of a beak.
have a taste, Baz. The little beak, sweet and mild.
Yeah, have it all.
Pickled, crunchy.
Oh, okay, there's a very subtle warmth. Unbelievable fruity flavour from it as well. That is delicious.
That is, yeah, this is pretty good. It's the friendly chili, let's say, right? Actually, I'm gonna have one as well. So
Please do.
You said these were all pickled, so you
They
could
all
get them.
pickled,
You
yeah.
could get them over here. Would you
Yes.
have them fresh in Brazil?
yes, you can find the fresh in Brazil. A lot of Brazilian produce. The good qualities are very hard to find over here.
Yep.
This is called malagueta. It's a type of Brazilian chilies as well, more commonly on the north. These are pretty hot. So this one is called bod, which is also another type of chili. I think they are a little bit softer than these ones. Here is we call translation lady's fingers. They also have a relative aromatic but good kick as well. And these ones are kind of like one of my favorites, but like they call kumari. You can have it in different colors. You can see there is a yellow one in there as well. They are quite fruity, but they do give it this initial heat punch, and then goes away after. But
So in order of heat, that way?
I would say this, yes.
This one, all in?
No, just a little bit,
Have a try.
Just have a try, yeah. Just try little, yeah.
More bird's eye as a chili in terms of its straight away you get a bit of heat. Flavour-wise, similar profile to the first one,
Okay.
just more heat. Like a sweet cherry tomato, and it is the sweetest so
Sweeter,
far.
yeah, okay, yeah.
But with nice, again, manageable heat.
Part of the pickling liquid, I imagine, but they're also wonderfully shiny, which makes them so inviting. They look
Yeah.
almost like candy.
These ones, I don't think these look friendly.
So we serve with this kumari in the restaurant, and I think what the crowd that loves chilies, they get obsessed with those ones here.
Crikey. It's giving a lot of heat, but also, because there's so little flesh on it, I'm surprised by how much flavour it's giving off, like the citrusy notes it gives.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of chilies that all they do is give you heat and nothing
Yeah,
else,
exactly, yeah.
which makes me worried about this one.
Yeah, me too.
No,
Nibbling-
no.
comfort.
I
Nibbling
think
your
just
own
trying
will.
just trying to get.
Okay. James, you can try that one, you'll survive. Then you'll
I'm worried.
be in floods.
Yeah, you get the vinegar first from the pickle, and then the heat and the tingle.
Very sweet, very tangy. Not get any heat yet. A bit more smoky.
Okay.
It's a smoky
Yes,
pepper,
okay.
that one. Yeah, you can
just
go and try me.
Yeah, malagueta.
hit
Wow.
together.
Okay, hit together. Cheers.
Yeah. You can get a bit more then. Oh, there you go.
Now it's coming, right?
Yeah, there you go.
That's a proper. Amazing.
Right.
Well, senses fully awake now. Let's
Yeah.
move on to number 2. What's under there now, Baz?
That looks just as hot.
There is no heating at all.
Okay, good.
Yeah, good. Strong, bit bitter.
Oh, okay. I'm almost getting like saffron-y vibes from it.
It's called dende.
Dende.
Yeah, D-E-N-D-E. Typical from Bahia region, so northeast of Brazil. This oil is made from the fruits of the palm tree. the type of palm tree they have in Brazil, having those berries there. Those berries are commonly red. So they go through a process with a molten paste, and then they extract the oil from there. It's an oil that you can reach like 180 Celsius and deep fry. You use it typically in cooking, not raw, because it got this like really strong, distinctive flavor of it.
Quite pungent.
Quite pungent.
Earthy, nutty, but definitely, as you say, a bitterness to it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Rafael's going to plate up a dish that uses this oil in a couple of different ways.
We're having this called acarajé. Is a type of like fritters made from these black eye beans. So the black eye beans are soaked in water.
Oh, it's almost cake-like.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bit spongy cake-wise. So the process, like you just soak it there for a good few hours. You can see it's been peeled already.
Yep.
And then this is the base. You just blitz it with a little bit of garlic, onions, and then they get deep fried in the oil.
Wow.
Okay, so this is a very typical in Bahia region. It's kind of like their street food. Typically, they serve with vatapá, which is a mix of paste in here done from shrimps. You have peanuts as well. Okay. There is a bit of dendeng there, and then they just like put it like this in the middle.
You can see a kind of a yellow tinge
exactly. Yeah, you can see
mark in oil.
I avoided the frying here because frying with this oil is very strong.
Okay.
So we're gonna do this for you. Quite rustic.
By your standards.
Street food.
No, this is
elevated street food.
Look, I have to say like this, I'm not from the area at all. I was born and raised in São Paulo and being a long time outside Brazil as well. So, but I find the flavors from this food in Bahia especially quite original, very rooted, and they have these particular ingredients as well. You can either on top put some prawns if you wanted. I kind of like it to do like a tomato vinaigrette, so kind of brings out this acidity and cuts through a little bit of the richness. You can actually add one of those chilies if you want to spice up a little bit.
Why not?
I think that's what's so fascinating about the regions. If you were to say what is French cuisine, it changes vastly from being German or Alpine to Brittany and dairy down to the bouillabaisse and sort of ratatouille of the south. Brazil was what, 12, 15 times the size of France? Of course it's going to have regions, but we just think of Brazilian cuisine.
Brazil is a very young country. It's only 500 years old compared to, France, as you mentioned. So I think we have a very good produce, and it's being colonized by Portuguese. In this particular region, there is a lot of Afro influences in there as well. More South Brazil, you go more European, so you get a lot of like Italians and French, Portuguese. Even my granddad was Italian. I don't know if you know, but in São Paulo we have the largest Japanese community. Wow. So that helps a lot as well. So I think these are the things that define my cooking. Oh, very kind of you. Thank you. Very, exactly.
There we go.
Another cheers.
Cheers.
The vatapá made with the oil, and then the acarajé, the fritter fried in the oil.
Oh my god.
Quite tasty, isn't it?
A little bit. That peanut filling.
Yeah. The dry shrimps, ginger.
Yeah, got just the right amount of funk from the fish. That is a spread to put on in so many things. Wow. It's sensational. Even though it's a dense, cakey-like batter, you're still getting the flavour left from the oil as well.
Yeah, you can get that.
Bitterness on the outside is really nice.
Oh, how convenient. I've got the small hot one.
And I've got a little beak. Cheers.
All in.
How satisfying is that?
There's an amazing texture. The outside versus the inside, and the creaminess of the vatapá.
You're getting all the flavour. That chili works perfectly with it.
Good.
Chili's done, oil done. Should we move on to number 3? Careful, Baz, it's been preheating.
It's radiating heat. Oh, it's just a pot.
Not just a pot.
A beautiful clay pot.
Very good.
Correct. This is moqueca. So moqueca fish stew, again, from northeast of Brazil, Bahia traditionally. This is a stew made with coconut cream, as a base. You have peppers, coriander, lime, onions, tomatoes, fish.
So the dish and the pot share the same name, and luckily we're going to get to try both. So you're going to make use of some chilies and some of the dende oil, but also a lot of other ingredients. Perhaps you can talk us through them.
Those langoustine,
correct.
They look like confectionery. They don't look real. They look like sweets.
They are very sweet.
They're stunning.
They are stunning, yeah. In my moqueca, let's say, for you guys, we posh up a little bit. So we're going to have Cornish turbot and then Scottish langoustine. We have a kind of like a fish stock, a bisque in a ways, and you have coconut cream. But one of the things I find important in this dish in here is the paste. So we're making dry shrimps. You have garlic, ginger, bit of dende oil, and the chilies that you tried earlier on.
Okay.
So you're just going to start it with the onions. So yeah, so gradually sweat off the onions. You can also go with peppers. I'm gonna add a little bit butter. We're gonna go with the garlic. So sweat it off like, don't get too much color, just keep sweating off. And then you're gonna go for the paste. I've already added a bit of dende oil with the paste, but I'm gonna put a cheeky spoon here as well. But I'll add it more in the end. We don't want to lose the aromas of the dende oil, so a lot of added more towards the end, so keep it the aromatic from the oil. So now we have a bit of tomatoes in here as well, and I help it on the body, the sweetness as well, the tomatoes. Yeah. So while you get these flavors coming together, so you've got this lovely turbot, we're just going to cut in pieces basically. It's gonna literally add it after, more towards in the end. We're just gonna have these chunky, lovely bits of turbot in there. Okay. I'm gonna add the bisque and the fish stock.
And then how long would this typically sort of cook and simmer for?
So you would leave it simmering for, I would leave for 40 minutes, an hour. And you really want to get the flavor. It's like when you're making a ragu, right? So kind of this slow cooking process just really helps on developing the flavors. I'm gonna put some langoustine here, and then I'll put the pieces of turbot as well. And then we'll put the lid on.
And a gentle simmer.
Gentle simmer, yeah, correct.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Well, we'll come back to that in a moment. But next up, something else under the cloche. Baz.
Yes. By the way, the normals here, we all fight to get into these videos because these are the most incredible experiences. We basically get the best meals and have to pay a penny for it.
Lift the cloche. You were having a moment there, weren't you?
No.
What is that?
Oh, bacon. Bacon and onion. Don't know.
Describe its texture and its taste. The face always gives away the immediate reaction.
Straight off, texture game, it's a crumb. It's almost sugar-like to start off with. It's mainly sweet. And then you're left with a little bit of a familiar funk at the end.
So yeah, you're right about the sweetness coming through is from the sweet corn. So basically what it calls farofa. So farofa in Portuguese, translation is toasted flour basically. You do have two varieties of flour here, okay? So this one is with the sweet corn, that get toasted with some Brazil nuts and maitake mushrooms. The second one here is made from the cassava. Cassava or manioc. I toasted with some smoked bacon and banana. You can do anything you want. There is no recipe. Farofa is very personal.
Really?
These commonly you can add with meat like a barbecue, churrasco on the side. Then for the stew that you're going to try as well, these ones you add it to it, give it that kind of texture, crunchiness to it. But in the meantime, helps to thicken up the sauce, the stew as well, okay?
Good news is, fish stew pretty much done. Let's get it plated. Barry, lift the lid.
Whoa, yes!
So chef, you finished it with a little bit more of the dende oil, some fresh coriander.
I'm just gonna show you a little bit a version of what we do in the restaurant. So it's a little bit different
from there. You can help yourself, good.
Yeah,
you can help yourself. Now the chance to flex.
For the restaurant, we have this mixture of Brazilian beans, they call manteiguinha, and the translation is like butter beans, but coming from a region in Santarém by the Amazon River. So I like to add my one okra as well, a bit of smoked eel. That's a lovely piece of turbot. We pickled some plantain. So that is kind of like assembling the skin of the fish in a ways, right?
Nice.
But we have some type of coriander, so it's called mountain coriander, and the sauce. Wow. So that is your sauce. You do have some okra twills in here if you wanted to try it out.
That's definitely not normal.
What we're noticing is lots of texture, pickled, lots of
correct,
height, dimension, but also the softness and the almost creaminess from that sauce that you blended. Looks incredible.
Right, we can just add a little bit here on the side. So you can add it, let's just add it for you like 2 different ones on the side so you can try with different
beautiful
flavors.
Just start humble home style. Oh, okay, right. I need a bigger spoon this time.
The fork and a spoon, there we go.
Come join me, Rafael.
Yes, I'll join you, yeah.
Yeah, outrageously comforting, super fragrant. I'm getting all the flavours hitting my back of my nose rather than the back of my throat.
And you can get just tiny little bit of the heat from the chilies, from the paste that we added at the beginning, just coming through very gentle.
And then you move to this one, Baz. A face says 1,000 words if it's strapped to Barry's shoulders.
Is it the sauce or the fish that's doing it?
It's all of them. The thing that gets me most are the temperatures. It's a thing that only people like you can do, which is matching so many different textures, so many different flavours, and then weaving in temperatures in there as well, all from one dish, makes that really smart.
And the texture, the crunchiness of that, particularly the corn one.
Yeah.
So good. And you're right, it thickens it up almost.
It's brilliant with this one as well.
Yeah.
With the bacon and banana, it's just like rounding sweetness off.
Yeah.
It's the journey from the initial cloche lift with all of those variety of chilies through to, yes, the oil and then the clay pot and the method, but all of the stories and regions you said in a single plate,
Yeah.
I think is magical. We are very lucky, but Barry, there is one more lucky thing still to come.
Pudding? Yes!
Something sweet to finish us off, under the cloche.
I'm going to make a prediction. There's one sweet ingredient that I think is in, no, I'm going to say it, every Brazilian dessert. Condensed milk?
Correct.
I knew it!
But it's not. No, it's not.
What?
As in, it's in every Brazilian dessert, but that's not it.
Correct about the ingredient that is in Brazilian dessert, but not this particular one.
Really funky, and the word that was my mind isn't a very nice word. It's almost like petroleum. It's got, at the beginning, it hits me with a chemical, followed by fruit.
So it is all of those lovely fruity aromats.
At the end.
That are a little bit sort of pineapple, cacao kind of number.
Almost durian fruit.
Banana, pear, durian-esque.
Yeah.
What is it?
You guys have it in here, cupuaçu pulp. So cupuaçu is a fruit, typically from Amazon. It's actually the same family of the cocoa bean.
This is why we have to bring experts in, because Barry has stopped listening to me. Because about a year ago, we did this on the channel.
Yeah, no.
And he just blanked it from his mind.
It's just hit me that, as you're explaining it, that flavour sensation, I've had it before.
And we had it in a very simple milk-based drink.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't to your liking.
No,
so we thought,
it.
well, it is delicious, you must like it, so let's make a better version. And that's what Rafael's going to do.
So what we've done, because cupuaçu is from the same family of the cocoa bean, so we put it on these cocoa nibs and we create these, we made these mandolins with 100% chocolate. And with the cupuaçu, we've done this creme diplomate.
Right.
Let's have a taste. Warm, fresh madeleines.
Nice and
100% cacao.
What's that doing in there then? I mean, I've lost all the hardness.
This is on a raw stage of the fruit. So we make a creme powder then, and with the chantilly was a bit lighter, but it gave it this like a sourness as well.
Yeah.
And the sweetness, you know.
All the harshness has now gone. But now you left a little bit of the sweetness and the fruitiness.
Yeah, the fruit, yeah.
And just that's the sugar, it's the dairy fat, but it's also the egg yolk, which is giving you that kind of richness as well. So it is related to cacao, but it's, if you think about the flesh that sits around the cocoa bean, it's more of that kind of tropical floralness, and obviously the similar colour. Would you use it in any savoury dishes, or is it only really used in desserts and drinks?
No, you can use it on savoury. There is this neutral sweetness to it, so you can just play whatever you like here.
Rafael, thank you so much. That's been a real treat. I feel like I've absorbed even more knowledge than I was expecting from that one. Brilliant.
More than welcome. Thanks so much, you guys, for having me here. Yeah.
No, thank you for coming down. We're going to link to Rafael and the restaurant in the description box down below, but also comment what other Brazilian dishes should we at Sorted be trialling, experimenting and digging into, because there's lots more to still explore.
Amazing.